Did you know that the way you drink water could quietly raise your blood pressure, strain your heart, and even leave you dizzy or short of breath? Most seniors think water is always safe no matter how it's consumed. But research shows that drinking it the wrong way can actually shock your cardiovascular system. And here's the twist. This isn't about what you drink. It's about how you drink it. I'm Dr. Howard Tucker, and after decades of guiding older adults to live longer, healthier lives, I've seen something surprising. Tiny daily habits with water can either protect your heart or put it under silent stress. When people think of heart damage, they imagine cholesterol or heavy foods. But water? That sounds harmless. Yet clinical studies from cardiology journals show that the sudden gulping of cold water or large amounts at once can cause rapid shifts in blood pressure. For younger bodies, that adjustment is easy. But in seniors, where circulation and arterial flexibility are reduced, the body interprets this sudden change as a shock. The heart races, blood vessels tighten, and what should be hydrating can leave you lightheaded, breathless, or in some cases at risk for fainting. One reason is something called the baroreflex. This is your body's natural mechanism to stabilize blood pressure when you stand up or when your body detects sudden changes in circulation. In younger adults, the baroreflex responds instantly, but in seniors, it slows down. So when a large volume of water suddenly enters the stomach, it triggers pressure changes the aging system can't adapt to quickly enough. The result? A spike, then a drop, leaving the heart working harder than it needs to. Now, none of this means water is dangerous. In fact, hydration is one of the most protective habits for aging hearts. The real key is learning to drink in ways that support your body instead of shocking it. Over the years, I've taught my patients to think of water not as something to chug, but as something to partner with. Small sips, at the right temperature, and at the right times, can reduce strain on the heart and improve circulation. Think about it this way. If you pour a bucket of water onto dry soil, most of it runs off. But if you sprinkle it gradually, every drop is absorbed and put to use. Your body works in the same way. When water enters slowly, the kidneys balance it, the heart pumps it efficiently, and your blood volume stabilizes without sudden spikes. Seniors who switch to this method often notice they feel steadier, less bloated, and more energized. And here's a fascinating discovery from research published in the Journal of Clinical Investigation. Seniors who sip room temperature water steadily throughout the day, rather than gulping large cold glasses, show smoother blood pressure regulation and improved heart rate variability, a marker of heart resilience and longevity. That's a quiet but powerful shift. Most people never stop to think about whether the water in their glass is cold or warm. But to the aging heart, temperature makes all the difference. When you drink ice-cold water, your esophagus and stomach nerves send signals that cause your blood vessels to constrict. For younger adults, this isn't much of an issue. For seniors, whose arteries are already stiffer, that sudden narrowing forces the heart to push harder against increased resistance. The result can be an immediate spike in blood pressure followed by a wave of fatigue or dizziness. Now compare that with sipping room temperature or slightly warm water. Instead of shocking the blood vessels, it encourages gentle dilation. That means smoother blood flow, less work for the heart, and better oxygen delivery to the brain and muscles. It's one of those subtle shifts that feels small in the moment but adds up to enormous benefits over time. Many of my patients report that once they stopped gulping icy water and switched to warm sips, they felt calmer after meals, their digestion improved, and even their morning stiffness eased. Timing also plays a role. If you drink a large glass of water immediately after eating, the sudden volume can dilute stomach acid and slow digestion, leaving you bloated and tired. More importantly, it diverts blood flow to the stomach at the exact time your heart should be distributing it evenly to the rest of your body. For seniors, that imbalance can trigger post-meal fatigue, lightheadedness, or even chest discomfort. On the other hand, drinking small amounts of water about 30 minutes before a meal primes the digestive system, helps stabilize blood pressure, and supports circulation without overwhelming the heart. And here's something fascinating from cardiology research. Water can act almost like a natural medicine if timed right. Studies from Vanderbilt University showed that sipping water steadily throughout the day helped regulate sympathetic nervous activity, the part of the nervous system that controls heart rate and blood pressure. Instead of wild swings, the heart found a steadier rhythm. That means fewer episodes of sudden dizziness when standing, less strain after meals, and a more resilient cardiovascular system overall. There's another timing trick worth noting. Seniors often wake up dehydrated after a long night of sleep, and the first glass of water in the morning is powerful. But again, it's not about throwing back a big cold glass. The body responds best to a slow, steady intake of warm water first thing. It gently wakes up circulation, rehydrates the cells, and signals to the kidneys and liver that the day has begun. Patients who adopt this ritual often describe it as a reset button. Their energy stabilizes, their morning blood pressure readings improve, and even their bowel movements become more regular. So, if you take nothing else from this section, remember this. Temperature and timing transform water from a neutral habit into a powerful heart protective tool. Cold and rushed can jolt the system. Warm and steady can heal it. Here's the encouraging truth. It doesn't take dramatic changes to transform how water supports your heart. In fact, the most powerful results come from small, daily rituals practiced with consistency. The first habit is sipping slowly, almost like you're tasting rather than drinking. When you do this, you're not just easing pressure on the heart. You're also training your nervous system to stay balanced. Think of each sip as a steady rhythm, almost like a metronome for your circulation. Patients who once felt their hearts race after a big gulp of cold water often notice their pulse settle when they switch to measured, mindful sips. The second habit is choosing the right temperature. Warm or room temperature water acts almost like a gentle massage for the blood vessels. It encourages them to open, helping blood flow more smoothly. Some seniors even begin their mornings with warm lemon water, not as a fad, but because it calms digestion, stabilizes blood pressure, and leaves the heart less burdened. Another daily ritual is timing your hydration around activity. Before a walk, a gardening session, or light exercise, a small glass of water helps prime circulation. After activity, sipping again helps restore balance. The mistake many seniors make is waiting until they're thirsty. By the time thirst appears, the body is already behind, and the heart has been working overtime to move thicker, less hydrated blood. A steady rhythm of water throughout the day keeps the heart's workload lighter and more efficient. Even posture matters. Drinking water while slouched compresses the stomach and restricts circulation. Sitting upright with the diaphragm free makes a surprising difference. The water enters more smoothly, digestion works better, and the heart avoids sudden pressure shifts. These small adjustments, often overlooked, can quietly add years of comfort and resilience. One more overlooked habit is pairing hydration with minerals. Plain water hydrates, but water with natural electrolytes, like from a pinch of sea salt or potassium-rich foods, supports the electrical signals that keep the heart beating in rhythm. For seniors whose electrolyte balance may already be delicate, this combination can prevent the fatigue, cramps, and irregular beats that sometimes follow plain water overload. When you weave these habits together, slow sipping, warm temperature, smart timing, upright posture, and gentle mineral support, you create what I call heart-safe hydration. It transforms drinking water from an unconscious act into a daily therapy for cardiovascular health. And the beauty is, it doesn't require new pills, expensive supplements, or complicated rules. Just simple awareness, repeated day after day. For my patients who commit to this, the results often surprise them. They feel steadier when they stand, less tired after meals, and more energetic during their favorite activities. Some even notice that the swelling in their ankles improves, not because of new medications, but because their circulation is finally being supported in the simplest way possible. So the message is clear: water is life. But the way you drink it can either protect your heart or place it under strain. And once you shift these daily habits, your body responds quickly. Your body is always speaking to you, but most seniors mistake its whispers for something ordinary. When water is putting strain on the heart, the signs are often subtle at first. One of the earliest clues is dizziness, especially if it happens right after you drink. That lightheaded feeling isn't just getting older. It can mean your blood pressure shifted too quickly for your system to stabilize, leaving your brain momentarily starved of oxygen. Another warning sign is palpitations. those sudden flutters or thumps in the chest that come after gulping down water. Many dismiss them as harmless, but in aging hearts, they often signal that the electrical rhythm has been temporarily disrupted. That disruption may not cause immediate harm, but repeated over time, it can place unnecessary stress on the cardiovascular system. Shortness of breath is another red flag. If you feel unusually winded after drinking a glass of water, especially cold water, it may be more than just swallowing difficulty. In seniors, sudden water intake can briefly increase blood volume and make the heart pump harder. If the heart muscle is already weakened, that extra effort shows up as breathlessness. Some patients describe a heavy, full feeling in the chest or upper stomach right after drinking quickly. That sensation isn't just discomfort, it's a signal that the stomach is pressing upward against the diaphragm, forcing the heart and lungs to work in tighter quarters. Over time, this can contribute to fatigue after meals and even disrupt sleep if the habit continues late at night. Even swelling in the ankles or feet can worsen with poor hydration habits. While the primary cause may be circulation or kidney function, gulping down large volumes of water at once can overload a system that's already struggling to keep fluids balanced. Sipping steadily prevents those surges and keeps swelling more manageable. And then there's something most people never connect to water: brain fog. When the heart is stressed by sudden fluid intake, circulation to the brain can dip just enough to cause confusion, slower thinking, or a wave of tiredness. Seniors who switch to warm, steady sipping often tell me their clarity improves, not because of new medication, but because their heart and brain are finally working in sync. The key is not to panic at these symptoms, but to recognize them as messages. They're your body's way of saying, "Slow down, give me water in a way I can handle." When caught early, these signals fade as soon as better hydration habits are adopted. What once felt like inevitable aging often turns out to be nothing more than a correctable daily ritual. So if you've been noticing dizziness, palpitations, breathlessness, swelling, or fatigue after drinking water, don't ignore it. These aren't random inconveniences. They're your body warning you that your hydration routine needs adjusting. And the good news: the solution is as simple as changing how and when you drink. Here's where everything comes together. Once you understand how water can either strain or strengthen your heart, you can turn it into a daily ritual that actively rebuilds cardiovascular resilience. And the beauty of this ritual is that it doesn't require medicine, expensive supplements, or complicated rules. Just structure, consistency, and a little awareness. The day begins the moment you wake up. Instead of rushing for coffee, start with a small cup of warm water. Slowly, sip by sip. This gentle hydration signals to your circulation system that it's time to wake up. It supports kidney function, eases the overnight strain on the heart, and helps stabilize morning blood pressure. Patients often describe this moment as a quiet reset for the whole body. Mid-morning, before your first activity, whether that's a walk, gardening, or light stretching, take another half cup of water. This primes your circulation before movement, ensuring your muscles and heart get the oxygen they need without forcing the cardiovascular system to play catch-up. Think of it as fueling before a journey rather than trying to refill halfway through. At mealtimes, the ritual shifts. Instead of large glasses of water with food, keep it modest, a few sips before the meal to prime digestion, and then wait until 30 minutes after eating for a steady glass. This prevents dilution of stomach acid, supports nutrient absorption, and keeps your heart from struggling with sudden fluid shifts. Seniors who make this change often notice less bloating, steadier energy, and a lighter feeling after meals. In the afternoon, when fatigue often sets in, sipping another small glass of room temperature water helps combat the natural dip in blood pressure that many seniors experience. Pairing that glass with a pinch of minerals, like a slice of cucumber or a sprinkle of sea salt, helps stabilize electrolytes and keeps the heart's rhythm steady. Evening hydration is the final step. A gentle half cup of warm water before bed soothes circulation, supports kidney function overnight, and helps the heart maintain a stable rhythm during sleep. It's not about flooding the body and waking up all night. It's about creating just enough hydration to protect the system without overwhelming it. When practiced daily, this ritual works like physical therapy for your cardiovascular system. Each sip trains your blood vessels, your nervous system, and your heart to operate smoothly. Over weeks, seniors often notice they feel lighter on their feet, clearer in their mind, and more confident in their balance. Blood pressure readings stabilize, swelling eases, and the chest no longer feels strained after drinking. The ritual is more than hydration. It's a way of communicating with your body. Instead of treating water as background noise, you're turning it into medicine, measured and deliberate. And over time, that steady rhythm teaches the heart to relax, rebuild, and strengthen itself. So here's the truth most people never hear. It isn't just about what you drink, but how you drink it that decides whether water heals your heart or quietly harms it. Every sip can either ease the pressure on your arteries or add another layer of stress your heart doesn't need. And once you change the ritual, your body responds faster than you might think. Seniors who adopt heart-safe hydration often report more energy, less dizziness, and a calmer rhythm within weeks. But here's the bigger question. If something as simple as water can either damage or heal the heart, what other everyday foods and drinks are silently shaping your future health without you realizing it? Because some of the most common, healthy choices for seniors may actually be speeding up aging in ways that only show up years later, and that's exactly what we're uncovering next.